It's been 2 years since I built this house, and we have some things to address. Our last video has received over 2 million views in just 6 months, and it's time to answer the most common concerns. Let's get into it, starting with concerns and skepticism. The main concerns being not having friends to come and help when you need it, not having the skills to do parts of the job yourself, and then the price of labor and materials not being realistic. I did about 90% of the labor on this house myself, and I had friends come out a few times to help me with things that I needed a couple more hands with. As far as the price of labor and materials, most of my materials were sourced from big shops like Home Depot, Lowe's, and Home. And those prices are very consistent throughout the United States. And then the labor is a pretty big factor. So anything that I didn't have the skills to do myself, I did sub out to a contractor and pay them for the labor and materials. And that is going to vary depending on the region that you live in. If you live on the West Coast or the East Coast and you're in an area that has a really high cost of living, then the labor is going to be substantially more expensive than if you hired a contractor, say, like in Louisiana where I live at. In the original video, we only focused on the price of the house itself. We did not include the cost of the land, the groundwork, and the utilities. I personally wanted 27 acres, but you might only want 1 acre. I paid $215,000. You might be able to find 1 acre for $20,000 or $30,000. So that's why we decided to put those prices in the comment section instead of in the price breakdown. The second topic I want to touch on is what makes this home tangible for the average person. We chose to build a metal building because it's cheaper, faster, and more durable than traditional buildings. You can save a lot of money building a house yourself, but if you don't have the time or the skills to do it, you can always hire a general contractor to build it for you. I had a general contractor quote me $160,000 to build this entire house for me, which is a lot more than it cost me to build it, but it's still cheaper than a new mobile home. With mobile homes selling for over $180,000 and being almost worthless in 10 years, building a Barndo for $160,000 is a much better option. This house is built on a concrete foundation and has a higher wind rating than a mobile home and even a traditionally built home. The ceramic coated metal roof and siding comes with an industry standard 40-year warranty that will outlast shingles and traditional siding choices like vinyl and wood products. Metal buildings do not require load-bearing interior walls, which allowed me to have a 30-foot wide living room and the freedom to customize my floor plan however I want. So whether you're building it yourself or getting a general contractor to build it for you, a Barndo can be cheaper than a trailer while being more durable and customizable than a traditional house. Moving on to the third topic, the pros and cons that come with this home. Let's start with the cons because there's not very many of them. The first one is going to be the concrete floors. While I really enjoy the concrete floors, they do still require some maintenance that I was unaware of. They need to be periodically cleaned and waxed to give it a nice protective film on top that will stop some of the damage that you'll see on mine. My floors have a lot of scuffs and scratches from rolling chairs and dogs. An easy but expensive solution would be to have epoxy floors installed. However, I'm not spending the money on that right now, so I'm just going to have to learn how to take care of my concrete floors. The only other con that I have is some issues that I'm having with my cabinet doors. My cabinets are made out of alder wood, and I think that maybe alder wood is a little too soft, or maybe there was some product defect in the plywood that was used, but a lot of the finger joints on my doors have begun to crack, and so I've been removing those doors as they get damaged, and I'm going to bring them back to the cabinet shop to either have them rebuilt or replaced. The solution to this would be to use a harder wood like oak to prevent the cracking from happening in the first place. Moving on to the pros, I want to start with the utility bill. My average utility bill here is around $60, and all of my appliances are electric, so there's no additional gas bill to add to that. The reason it's so cheap comes down to insulation. We started with 2 inches of closed cell spray foam on the entire exterior of this building. That provides a moisture barrier and an R13 value. The ceiling has an additional 4 inches of open cell spray foam, which adds insulation insulation and noise reduction, which is great because I can still hear the rain on the metal roof, but it's not too loud. I've had some people ask if I've had condensation issues inside of my house due to the spray foam. I have not, but that could be different depending on the environment that you live in. In addition to the spray foam, I also have fiberglass insulation in the walls for additional insulation and noise reduction. The next pro is the instant water heater. It's great. I never run out of hot water, and it's more efficient than a traditional water heater. I did not install a pre-filter for the water heater, and I have not had any issues with mineral deposits or scaling. Where I live, we don't have hard water, but I'm going to look up the manufacturer's recommendation for maintenance and cleaning anyway. Moving on to the countertops. I absolutely love the quartz countertops. They are very low maintenance and they look amazing. Natural stone countertops look great too, but they require a lot more maintenance and you got to periodically deep clean and reseal them. I don't regret my decision at all. Moving on to the most exciting topic, what's coming next? We have a lot of exciting projects coming up, starting with underlighting for the kitchen cabinets, voice-activated color-changing lights for the living room, a full wraparound porch. But what I'm most excited for is the outdoor shower and hot tub, followed by a cold plunge and a sauna. We genuinely appreciate all the love and support. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one.